The set of plans for the RV6 are here, and the people who are going to help assemble the airplane will be here shortly, and we'll go through an inventory, taking a good close look at all the components that we do have and where they actually belong, naming each component, inspecting each component, verifying its compliance to the plans, to the drawings, making sure that we have all the tools required. This is a stash of Clecos of all sizes here. We have other Clecos in the back over near the project airplane. And this book, the AC 4313 or Advisory Circular, AC 4313 1B and 2A, issued by the FAA, is a guidebook for all aircraft mechanics and home builders. It's one that is not only a very highly recommended book, but I would say it's required to do a good job. It gives all types of guidance to make certain that the aircraft that is being assembled or repaired or modified complies with the engineer's specifications as pertaining to the strength of the repair or corrosion resistance of the repair or assembly, and the types of repairs that are done to various components that have been damaged or are being modified. This advisory circular is available from the government printing office in downtown Denver, or going online you can research and order one. And finally, we'll talk a little bit about bucking bars. These items are bucking bars of all shapes and sizes, and this is only a small example of the many hundreds of different shapes and sizes that have been made and are still being made. And each mechanic, when he runs up against a particular riveting problem, will modify and make and improvise and do whatever he needs to make sure that the rivets are installed in a proper manner, just like these rivets are installed. And this is part of the RV6. There are rivets installed in neat rows, and the strength of the rivet is determined by its condition after the installation, by the shape of its bucked head and the shape of its manufactured head, the head on the other side of the rivet. We don't want to have any kind of nicks or marks or damage to any part of any rivet and or the sheet metal around the rivet. We want to make sure that we choose the right number of rivets and the correct alloy of rivets for the job being done. This book is a proprietary book, but it is an excellent guide, an excellent source. Univair Aircraft Corporation is an aircraft manufacturer, but because they manufacture airplanes, they also sell quite a few aircraft components, usually based around the designs that they sell and build. However, there are some components that they do offer that are not specifically for their aircraft. They're just a high demand component, such as oil filters and spark plugs and oil itself, sheet metal, rivets, lots of different items. Univair Corporation, based in I think they are in Aurora, Colorado. This is an assortment of various rivets that are to be used in assembly of aircraft. Most of these are aluminum alloy rivets. Usually the alloy is 2117, indicated by an A and a D in the part number of the rivet. This device here is a stationary riveter and dimpler and rivet removal tool, where you put the anvils or the rivet set, the rivet set, or dimple dies or rivet squeeze heads into the jaws of this device, and use a hammer or another impact tool to squeeze or smash or rivet or buck the rivet. Here's another interesting bucking bar. The drill is here for the purpose of letting you see the types of drills that really are not recommended to be used around aircraft. They are used around aircraft quite often, but the reason they should not be used, unless precautions are taken, is because sparks are visible in the air vents and in the motor area of the drill when it's electrified, turned on. And sparks and aircraft fuel or aircraft fuel fumes don't always mix. So use an insulated drill, one that is rated to be used in a combustible or flammable environment. Again, we have countersinks here on the right, which put a concave recess into the sheet, and we have dimple dies, riveting dies to rivet different head styles and to also form dimples for sheets that are not to be countersunk because they are too thin.